Brooklyn and Jet are on their way into Hedge Apple, and they have to stop somewhere because they need to get candy. Why do they need to get candy? To pay Brandon. Once in Hedge Apple, we tie up the lunch and head out onto the main drag. I start toward the grocery mart. Candy shopping, right? I'll take care of that, he decides. You're going to the hardware store. Why? I ask. To pick up a screwdriver in case your Dance Dance Revolution machine needs fixing? He smiles appreciatively at my joke. See in the window where it says keys duplicated? Copy the boat to key. I must look stricken because he adds, in case the real one falls off the wall and bounces under the counter again. Ouch. If there was ever any doubt that Jet doesn't trust me, that's gone. Still, maybe it's for the best that we each have our own copy. That way I can stop explaining why I can always find it and the others can't. I'm a little nervous that the hardware store lady will ask me a lot of nosy questions about the key, but she takes it, along with $5 plus tax, and screeches out a copy on the machine. When I say it's for my mom, she looks as if she couldn't care less if it was for Jack the Ripper. I step back into the street just as Jet emerges from the market carrying a pretty big bag. It's not all candy bars, he exclaims. I picked up some ground beef for Needles. It's his favorite. I can't help smiling. When Jet talks about Needles, he kind of lights up. That might be because he's focusing on others and not on just himself. Okay, in this case, others is a lizard, but it's a start. Any chance Brandon can spare a couple of those 3 Musketeers for you and me? I ask him. I like the way you think, he approves, but I wouldn't want to spoil your appetite. I guess I look disappointed because he goes on. Not for Oasis food. I wouldn't slap the hogs with that stuff. But there's that barbecue place, and I'm dying for something unhealthy. You in? Last time I felt a little bit guilty because Grace was there, which is almost like being with Magnus himself. This time, I don't even hesitate. It's brisket or bust. I'm done with my sandwich before Jack gets much more than halfway through his burnt ends and turkey combo. He's impressed. Nice. Have another one. My treat. I'm good, I say contentedly, stifling an unladylike burp. It's little binges like this that get me through another summer at the Oasis. A whole summer. That's rough. I'm only doing a month and a half for disrupting takeoffs and landings at SFO. What crime do you have to commit to get sentenced to every summer since you were 6? Needing to change the subject, I make a quick count of the candy in the grocery bag at our feet. 27 bars won't last all month. I thought of that, Jet admits. I don't want to pack our fridge with chocolates. Matt looks the other way, but he has his limits. Anyway, we'll come back to Hedge Apple. We need meat for Needles. Besides, I'm kind of curious about that. We're at a small booth at the barbecue place by a window that looks out through a break in the trees for a pretty good view of the Hedge Apple mega mansion. Although that might not be the right name for it. Hedge Apple is barely a whistle stop, and the big house is at least half a mile away. No way it's inside the town limits of such a limited town. The waitress comes over with our bill and catches us staring. Some house, huh? They say it has 17 bathrooms. What does one guy do with 17 bathrooms? One guy? Jet seizes on that. You know who lives there? You mean Snapper? That's what everyone calls him, but I doubt it's his real name. Snapper, I repeat. What does he look like? Old? Young? She shrugs. I've only seen him from a distance. He flashes by in this really cool car, but he's usually going too fast for anyone to get a good look at him. Big guy, always wears sunglasses. Jet's brow furrows. I thought everybody knows everybody in a small place. He must live somewhere else, too. He never comes to town except to drive through it. I whistle. Can you imagine building a house like that and then leaving it empty? I can, Jet volunteers. Vlad has more houses than he can remember. Seriously, he forgot about a villa in Tuscany until someone sent a bill for a roof repair. Oh, this place is never empty, the waitress informs him. Snapper's guys are always there. Guys, I echo. You mean maintenance people and housekeepers? Maybe, she sounds dubious, but I can't picture them folding towels and dusting. They look more like professional wrestlers to me. Bodyguards? Jet wonders. For a guy who's never there, I challenge. I know, the waitress agrees. It's a real mystery. And then she yawns, like it isn't really a mystery at all because who cares? I suppose it makes sense. The locals are used to this strange neighbor. He and his fancy car were big news for a while, but eventually, even a mega mansion in the middle of nowhere becomes just another part of the scenery, like the weathered fishing shacks by the dock and the twists and turns in the Saline River. After we eat, as we're heading back toward the launch, I ask Jet, "You don't think the snapper guy is some kind of gangster, do you?" "I doubt it," he replies. "No self-respecting gangster would be caught dead in a backwater like Hedge Apple." "Maybe that makes it a good place to hide out," I suggest. "Maybe, but I can tell he's not convinced. He wants to get to the bottom of this, and I have a sneaking suspicion that Vlad isn't the only relentless person in the Baronoff family." We start the boat with a new key. It works perfectly. Jet drives all the way home. I keep my eyes on the sky, where there are still a couple of kites in the air. That's a good sign. It means the competition hasn't ended yet, so we haven't been gone long enough to be missed. Back at the hidden dock, we tie up the launch. We start along the path to the oasis. Jet stuffs the new key in the front pocket of his shorts. I stop. "Hey, that's not yours." "You've got your own key," he retorts. This one belongs to the Pathfinders," I reason. "The new one should be all of ours, Grace and Tyrell's too." He snorts a laugh. "I kind of doubt Grace is ever going back to Hedge Apple again. It almost killed her the first time. And Tyrell got seasick on a 2-mile boat ride. He isn't exactly an old sea salt." I dig in my heels. You never know when any one of us might need to make an emergency trip to buy food for Needles, or even candy bars so Brandon won't blab to the Pathfinders. I honestly don't expect him to give in. He does, though, and we end up hiding the key in a knothole under a loose board in the dock. I pay the price for that minor victory. In Hedge Apple, I thought we were starting to hit it off, but as we head back to the center, he's looking at me with suspicion again. And that's not good news when you've got a secret.